Smackdown Hot Takes, where I take your thoughts, your opinions, your hot takes from the previous episode of Smackdown, Raw, and or PLEs, including WrestlePalooza, which we'll do tomorrow. And if you want a hot take on showers, well, they're just dishwashers, but for humans. That's from James Kaufman. Thanks for that one. And if you want to win this belt right here, all you got to do is comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell, ding, 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 notification. I'm literally going to give this belt away at 20,000 subscribers. But why, Chop? Why? Do you have a lot of money? No, I'm broke, but I'm trying to quit the day job and produce wrestling content full-time. All right, so as I try to produce wrestling content full-time, let's talk about the part-timer, Brock Lesnar, and see if he fits in today's WWE product. And we'll start with Tiz Mickey. This Brock/Cena storyline is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Why is he on SmackDown at all? He's just there beating up people and yelling for John. LOL, just go to Raw. Yeah, exactly. Just go to where John Cena is scheduled. I will say this, though. Definitely not the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I remember Sami Zayn bringing in Bobby Lashley's sisters, or Katie Vick, anyone? But yeah, I get what you're saying. The storyline of beating up random people, it could work. Like, if, let's say, John Cena was in the attendance tonight, and you could literally have Brock Lesnar, he comes too early, and John Cena's not there. So then he beats everybody up, right? And then they kick him out of the building before John gets there, if you're really trying to keep John and Brock apart. So this could work if they did it differently, but I don't get why we're keeping them apart anyways. But you're right, it's really lame and dumb how they've handled this storyline so far. We still don't even know why Brock is after John. But one WWE viewer's garbage is another's treasure, in that FT Balick says, Brock was booked great and fun tonight, from the Corey beatdown to the Heyman segment. I will say the Paul Heyman segment did make me sit up. When I saw Paul and Brock looking at each other, literally that was the moment of the night for me, so I will give them credit for that. That right there was like, I was like, ooh, I am now officially intrigued, because up until now I've been like, what are we doing with this Brock guy? He seemed so out of place in today's current environment. But when him and Paul, that did make me sit up. Let's see if there's any more talk on that. But even on that though, is it me being excited about Brock, or is it me being excited about Paul Heyman and what he can do with Brock? Because honestly, if they just transferred Paul Heyman and what he could do with Brock and just inserted Braun Breaker in there, then again, we don't really need Brock. We have Braun Breaker to do everything crazy that Paul would want. Does that make sense? But here we got Din Aj Dev saying, I hope I got your name correctly, unleash beast like this and half of WWE's problems today would be solved. Laughing face emoji. Cody or Seth can't handle being the face. Brock makes the whole place feel real again. All right, so you're okay with Brock. You're okay with Brock. You're like, that is a good thing going. Jimbo Slice says, Brock Lesnar will team with the Vision at War Games. Not as a member, but as a client of Paul Heyman's. I didn't think of that. That is what they're doing. That is exactly what they are doing. Good call on that. Good call. Not that I necessarily want it, but I could 100% see that happening. WTF Patch agrees with you. I'm telling you, Brock Lesnar will be in War Games with the Vision, and John will be. That makes a lot of sense. Now that you say it out loud, I hadn't included on that. And then Brock seems seriously out of place in today's product. He should have rode off in the sunset after he put Cody over. And this is coming from someone who was extremely happy he returned at SummerSlam, but since then just belch. I like that. Belch, barf. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, boys and girls. You're more than welcome to like Brock Lesnar. It's fine. It's whatever. But I'm just over it. I'm just over it. 10, 15 years ago, I was a person that was like, I don't like that Brock Lesnar just comes back on a part-time schedule. And everyone told me to shut up. And then Goldberg started doing it. And, oh, God, I hate Goldberg. Goldberg, what do you know? Goldberg just made things worse, like he usually does. But then Roman started doing it. But Roman somehow was, like, okay when he did it because it kind of fit his character. I work 10 times less than you and I make 10 times more than you. And he had beaten everybody, so why show up? So, like, Roman was, like, an anomaly that could be a part-time guy. But right now, Roman's part-time schedule is hurting his character. But when he was the tribal chief, it actually kind of helped his character. But I don't know. I'm just over part-timers. And Brock Lesnar, he does seem kind of out of place to the point where he shows up, and is it that big of a deal? Is it? Like, I get it. It's like, oh, cool, Brock will be here tonight. But is he really moving the needle? Did Brock Lesnar being on tonight's Smackdown really do anything for ratings? Did it really do anything to get people to say, I must see Smackdown? Maybe you got a little more excited about seeing Smackdown, but, like, did it cause you to go out of your way to make sure you were sitting a butt on the couch and watch Smackdown? Not for me. I was going to watch it anyways, but maybe it's because he doesn't have Paul Heyman. So maybe if he gets back with Paul, we got something there. But I bet the Paul Heyman situation is probably for War Games now that WTF Patch and Jimbo Slice brings it up. What do you gals think? Is Brock Lesnar kind of out of place right now? And let's not even talk about the real world implications of is he attached to Vince McMahon and that lawsuit, because I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about something's off. When he put over Cody, it did feel like that was a proper jumping off point for Brock to just be gone. To me, I could live without ever seeing another Brock Lesnar match, and I'd much rather see Braun Breaker versus John Cena at WrestlePalooza than Brock. But that's just me. I know he has his fans, and that's totally cool. You're welcome to love who you want to love and hate who you want to hate. Let's see what else we got going on in the world of hot takes. Proper Pick says, Final Boss engaged. That's... If you're thinking that The Rock is coming back, I don't rule out The Rock coming back. I thought for a while there that maybe never he would, but the fact is, WrestleMania 43 is going to be the biggest payday ever for someone to headline WrestleMania, and I could definitely see The Rock coming back for that. But right now, he's not coming back. For one, he's lost a lot of his muscles because of his Hollywood movies. Therefore, even if it was a perfect opportunity storyline-wise, The Rock's not coming back until he looks jacked again. Carmichael says, didn't know it was Monday. Sure feels like a Friday to me. Probably saying that because the Brawns were on SmackDown, meaning that, like, face it, unfortunately, the brand split, it just doesn't matter. They just don't care, and that sucks. I love the brand split. I am such a proponent of the brand split, and yet I always get my hopes up and crushed almost 3 weeks after the draft. Money on Repeat says, Nia coming back is a good move. She may be able to bring the heel out of Jade Cargill. If not, she is the ultimate woman's heel anytime she's not injured. Same heel, never change. Yeah, she doesn't change. She's a great heel. She is a great heel. I'm just tired of her and Tiffany Stratton. They've not only did Tiffany beat her January 3rd of this year. It's literally over 9 months later, and they're still feuding. On top of that, they were attached to the hip from, I think, June, Money in the Bank onward last year. So they've been attached to the hip for about, a year and 2 to 3 months? I'm tired of those two together. When Nia went to NXT and had a feud with Lash Legend, I thought that was great. I loved it. When Nia went and actually had a mini program with Rhea Ripley, I thought that was great. I loved it. So I love Nia Jax, and she was very very entertaining tonight even, and I was surprised that they allowed her to take the jabs that she did at Jade Cargill. But that aside, Nia Jax, I don't mind her feuding with almost anybody else, but just get her away from Tiffany Stratton and that championship for now. Don't fire her. Don't even bench her. She's a great character, but man, I just wish she was doing something else than more Tiffany Stratton. G3ZR says Melo should have won. Losing to Sami at this point, how they've built up Super Sami, there's no shame in losing to Sami Zayn, to be quite honest with you. And the fact that it was so early in his open challenge, I knew, unfortunately, Melo was not going to win, even though in my heart, I wanted him to win. My brain knew he wasn't going to. But you know what? Here's the next. Let's look at the next comment, because that sums it up for me. I accepted that Melo was going to lose, but Sale Reacts says Melo losing to a Blue Thunder Bomb was deflating. That's a move that should be jobbers. Yeah. Straight up. I said this in my one take one shot yesterday, but I'm saying it again because it was just fine. He had to lose to Sami Zayn. Whatever. Okay, we had a good match out of it. But the Blue Thunder Bomb? The Blue Thunder Bomb? Nobody loses to the Blue Thunder Bomb. I get that Bronson Reed now has two finishers, the Jagged Edge and the Tsunami. And if we're going to do that for Sami, fine. But couldn't we have just given Melo just the respect of the Haluva kick? That's all I wanted. That's all. That was literally my expectations. My expectations was so low for Melo to losing to Sami Zayn. I accepted it. I was okay with it. I was just I'll just get a good showcase of how talented Melo is in the ring. And then they beat him with the Blue Thunder Bomb. I was like, wow, my expectations were already low, but somehow you went lower than my expectations. The Blue Thunder Bomb. Give me a break. I wasn't asking for much, but not the transitional finisher. Give him the actual finisher. That was I felt some kind of way. Same as Soyo Reacts. And there's a comment underneath it from Tiz Mickey. For real, when it happened, I was like, when's the last time Sami has won with the Blue Thunder Bomb? Exactly. TTJC says, this is a very entertaining SmackDown. Definitely the best show of the week for me, but we'll see what WrestlePalooza holds. I think I'm going to switch it up and travel to Quebec instead of Toronto. Yeah, it was a pretty decent SmackDown, I'm not going to lie. And then you going to Quebec instead of Toronto. Okay. Well, if I had a VPN sponsor, this is where I would actually be talking about VPNs. I got Alfonso Passion saying, why would the Bronx take out Fraxium? They are an amazing team. I'm glad they got a comeback on the show, but why can't they do this to the dead Raw tag team to make it worth something? Honestly, that's a good point. They could have done this exact thing. Maybe they do it to Judgment Day. Now, the reason why they took out Fraxium is because Fraxium just happened to be there, so there was no real reason. They just beat up people to beat up. But you're right. If they had just beat up Judgment Day, that could have then set up maybe a tag team match where the titles were actually on the line and the Judgment Day actually did something with the belts. So, yeah, not valid. Tiz Mickey says, Solo is about to unleash our real tribal chief onto the world. That was an interesting promo from Solo Sikoa. He introduced the real GOAT, Tongoloa. Is that the real tribal chief, Tongoloa? And definitely gave him a lot of props. I wonder if next week he's just going to introduce each member, singly, is that a word? I don't know. He's just going to introduce each one by one to give us more of context on who they are, and then the MFT is going to be unleashed once more, or Tongoloa. Of course it's Tongoloa. we got Malcolm Browan saying, I'm extremely disappointed that Brock and Cena did not have a face-to-face promo. Yeah, what's up with that? Brock keeps going up to SmackDown when he knows that John Cena's not there. That was lame. High G3ZR also has the comment of female wrestling is overrated. I just don't agree with you. There's some females who are overrated. But that's a whole different statement than female wrestling is overrated. I mean, there are some male wrestlers who are overrated, Goldberg, but like, that doesn't mean all of male wrestling is overrated. I don't even know how to really react. Like, oh, women wrestling. Like, that's such a foreign, like, it's such a, like, it doesn't even compute with me. It'd be like someone telling me, like, oh, you should really try the number 9. It tastes so good. I'm like, wait, what? The number 9, it tastes good? What are you saying here? Like, I don't understand this concept that you think that just any woman getting into a ring is just like, we did have that match with Io Sky, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 41. How could anybody look at that match and be like, women are overrated, like women wrestling overrated? It just doesn't compute to me. Like, try the number 9. It tastes great. Like, what? I don't know how to react to that comment. So I don't know how to really react to your comment, but you know what? It's heard, I guess, but like, I do not agree with it whatsoever. Maxville Ariel says, Cody's selling his soul to The Rock tomorrow. I think that's because Drew McIntyre said, you're the corporate champion, and that used to be a bad thing. So in theory, maybe Cody's already sold his soul. They should have done that. They should have really done that or do that. And that's, maybe the selling the soul. That's why Cody Rhodes got a Street Fighter movie role, and that's why he was gone for so long. If you write the character in a way, it can justify them kind of having a part-time schedule. Like I said it earlier about Roman, when he was the tribal chief and had a part-time schedule, it somehow worked. Like, if Cody were to sell his soul and then be gone for 5 weeks to film a movie, then it would work. Then it wouldn't be a bad thing that Cody was gone for so long, because then Cody could just come back and be like, hey, I'm just too important for this place. I'm too important for this place. I got movies to do, so whatever, guys. But when he comes and says, I want a full-time schedule, and then he doesn't show up, then it's a problem. So I wish The Rock would show up, but he's not gonna. He's just not gonna. Dead Scene says, Brock Lesnar is just Goldberg 2.0. I can't deny that Brock Lesnar actually can wrestle. I know people are only used to Suplex City, but if you look at Brock Lesnar in the early 2000s, he's actually could have been one of the best wrestlers of all time. The dude was a beast in the ring. He has the ability to be a great wrestler. Goldberg never was. Goldberg has sucked day one to day whenever he fought Gunther. He just sucks. He doesn't know moves, and that's not just me and my hatred of Goldberg bullying over. I'm sure there's an element to it, but like, for real, Goldberg's not that good in the ring. Brock Lesnar was always good in the ring. But the Brock you see now is kind of how Goldberg has been booked historically through his career. Just power move, beat you within 5 minutes. So I get what you're saying, but old school Brock was definitely not. Aaron West says, it's a really long comment, so I'm just going to read the first couple lines. I feel like Cody versus Drew needs more heat and build-up. Hopefully this is not just a one-match feud. I agree. I think the problem with most of Cody's feuds are they don't have enough heat. When I look back at his first title reign, the only program that really felt like, oh, I gotta watch this, was him and Kevin Owens. Like, there was just no heat whatsoever. And the one time he walked on that football field with Roman Reigns, that was the only time there was ever really tension in Cody's feuds. So you're right. This one and all of his feuds, they just need more heat. Thankfully, Drew isn't just saying, I respect you, but there wasn't enough time to really build this up because of his Street Fighter movie, and the fact that he had a kid, and the fact that he just doesn't show up like he said he was going to. Babs is here. Michael Cole having Heidenreich PSTD. There's another storyline for you. Someone about how this is the worst storyline of all time. Yeah, Michael Cole and Heidenreich. Go look that up, boys and girls, but don't go look it up with your kids around. Jimbo Slay says, I'm ready for The Miz to start his commentary career. He killed it tonight. He was such a breath of fresh air. Boy, howdy, The Miz did such a good job, and I love the energy. It was kind of of like a Pat McAfee, but he actually had context in which what he was speaking of. So like I loved The Miz, and I like Pat McAfee too, but Pat McAfee is a fan who is commentating with a lot of energy and gusto, but The Miz is a wrestler who is commentating with the same amount of energy and gusto. So The Miz did a great job. It's OTW says, can't lie, Chop, I haven't watched a full episode of Raw or SmackDown in weeks. We seem to be in a lull point right now. We are definitely in a lull point, and a lot of people will just say, they'll say things like this, well, what do you expect? It's always a low point after SummerSlam. Like that excuse has always been kind of funny to me. It's like, we as WWE fans should just expect low quality angles and writing because why? Because it's after SummerSlam? It's like, no, like we can still write entertaining TV. I don't think I was ever like, all right, well, you know, Stone Cold Steve Austin just won at SummerSlam. The next 3 to 4 months of Stone Cold is going to be boring. I don't remember Stone Cold ever just cashing it in because we're after SummerSlam. And yeah, don't worry though. We live in YouTube land. Just come and watch my one take one shot reviews for your SmackDown Raw fix. Yo-Yo says, bro, so you telling me they released Cross just to give Bo Leave, Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas, the gimmick like with WWE? You're right. Bo Dallas is now playing the part of Karrion Kross, and it looks like Eric Rowan is playing the part of Scarlett. But no, it's like, it's exactly what Kross did. He would get in the minds of people. Like, they should have just had Uncle Howdy. Who knows? They should have maybe had Uncle Howdy have a higher power, and maybe that was Karrion Kross. So, yeah, you're right. They totally took Kross's gimmick of just undermining people and their relationships and turning them against each other, and that's what Bo Leave was doing yesterday, Bo Dallas. And you're like, no, it's totally different. I mean, the New Day, anyone? You got the New Day to split up. Well, at least to kick Big E to the curb. And that's what I saw last night as well. Kid Wilkes says the biggest heels of the night were the Usos. I know WrestlePalooza in Indianapolis, but I'm sure Toledo wanted to yeet with y'all a bit. Jerk move. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they did want to yeet, but side note, I love when the Usos are together. I really hope that they keep a singles career, but they're still attached at the hip. Jey Uso is just so much more digestible with his brother Jimmy, and Jimmy's already good, but when Jay's at his side, he goes next level. The Usos together are just awesome and phenomenal. I don't care if they could, that would be a unique act too, single stars, but yet still just, you know, together. Zach H says, can't wait to illegally stream Palooza and every ESPN PLE after. Not a penny from me. Oh no, Zach, don't do that. You should pay the $30. Zach, reconsider. Anyways, we got Wrestle Cash. Is the Karrion Kross movement still going on, guys? Nope. WWE well played us. They tricked people into thinking, is this a work? Is this not a work? Therefore, everybody didn't want to get tricked, so nobody chanted, we want Kross, and then they went overseas, and boom, in this like limited attention span world that we live in, Karrion Kross is not even a thought anymore, which is sad. I wish Karrion was here. Comment of Doom says, in Canada on Netflix, an ad came up for SummerSlam on Saturday and Sunday. How does that even happen? Yeah, I saw it too. Now that I live in Canada and not Houston, Texas, or I at least I go and visit on Fridays to Canada, the Comment of Doom, I saw it too. I thought that was amusing. And finally, Dio stand proud. In my opinion, they need to release Drew McIntyre. What? He's like my favorite, him and Becky. But dude is so corny and boring now. He's literally just a Diet Prime Randy Orton. Ooh, that's a hot take. And I disagree with you. I disagree with pretty much everything you just said. But that said, you're allowed to have your opinion. Shocker, I'm a YouTuber that is okay with other people having opinions. But yeah, I just don't agree with that. I read your comment. it is heard. Let me know in the comments below, I guess, viewers out there, do you agree that Drew McIntyre needs to be released? Because I don't. I want just the opposite. Put the title on him. Put the title on him. So, yeah, you're heard. I disagree. That's okay. We can still watch wrestling together. And let's do that tonight for WrestlePalooza. Thank you, boys. Thank you, girls. Thank you, dogs. If any dogs are watching, like, thank you. Ruff, ruff. I need to end this before I take it even further. Cats. What about cats? Meow. Boys, girls, have a good day. Bye.